I just shift that energy up front and take the time to make sure that we understand one another. Right. And I, like when I interview people, I have them interview me. And I usually do interviews with a team because I want them to see the whole scope of who we are and have, I want to make sure that if somebody's coming into the organization, that we're a good fit for them, because if we're not, they're not going to show up as their whole self.
Yeah.
And then
Gosh, I feel like that needs to be a module that you take, because I'm not trying to give you extra work. Like a module that you take to like college fairs when students are graduating and looking, to move into their first job. They're obsessed with these like interviewing skills, right?
Mhm.
And go in just feeling kind of desperate and like they need to be picked, for all these reasons. And knowing that they have an wealth to offer an organization, and that they should think of it, right, as this is a mutual fit that has to happen. And how to
100%.
think about that, like how to interview them, even, yeah,
Interview your future employer.
yeah,
Right.
is this going to be someone or a team of people who can help me feel like I belong there?
And I can give my whole self to and be
Yeah,
accepted. Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if you go in with even that one question, in addition to all the salary requirements and, job functions, I think it would be empowering to students, to know that, because that's the workplace culture, and your direct manager is going to make or break your experience of 40 to 60 hours of your life. And there's this crazy research or crazy statistic that you only have 1% chance of being fulfilled if you have no meaningful relationships in your workplace.
Wow.
So this is not just finding a good job fit, because your job fit actually will matter for your entire experience of life.
Yeah. And I'm trying to get away from the mindset of work-life balance, just life balance. Right.
Thank you. I hate that dichotomy. I'm like,
Yeah.
is my work not part of my life?
Right.
Is my
Right.
life not in my work?
Yep. And when we invite people in as their whole self, then they just bring their life into the workplace, and then we all learn and grow together. And of course we have things we have to get done, and there's tasks and there's responsibilities and goals and objectives and all that stuff. But when we do it as human beings
Exactly.
instead of employees, then the journey is so much more powerful.
Right. And when you're not just thinking of people as collections of functions,
Yeah.
right? Because that's not what people are. So that's a misalignment right out of the gate. And
Yeah.
it might feel like you're getting control over a situation or something, or overgrowth that with that approach, but that will always backfire, because people need to know that you see them as creative agents that have dignity with or without the functions that they perform. And the functions are always changing too. Your skill sets are always changing, and your aptitudes are always changing. So it's not even a sensical approach. But I absolutely love even the question of, given what we need to accomplish, and what our onboarding processes are, and team building things, asking at every point, how can I make this more human? Because it's not necessarily like you have to create completely separate opportunities for people to connect and feel heard. I mean, you might need to do some of that if nothing adequate exists, but thinking about what you already have, how can you just approach it with, how can this interview be more human? How can sending them through HR be more human? How can the break room be more human? It relieves people, especially CEO types, from feeling like they have to create a whole new system to kind of parallel what they've already got. So it's not doubling the work, it's humanizing the work you're already doing.
I love that.